that instead of like the greed and the fear and all the negative connotations that come up with dragons, that acknowledgement of the positive side of the dragon always comes with a gift in hand. And so that means I don't have to resist my dragons. And when I don't resist, when I do resist, those dragons, A, they stick around for way longer than I would like. And B, I'm waiting for longer to experience that gift that they have for me. And so it's really been a tool for me and the clients that I work with to start looking at what is the gift. And it's not about like putting a happy face sticker on everything bad that's happening in our lives. It's about really doing digging deeper into understanding what's really going on, right? If the universe is friendly, how is this experience showing up in my world for my benefit, for the benefit of the world, et cetera, et cetera. And so
okay. That is a really intense concept.
Yeah, it really is, and it took a lot of time to kind of work through it for myself, and then as I worked through it with clients, sometimes they're resistant to it at first, and then slowly they start to come around. And so what I ended up doing was I ultimately created a guided meditation that I use with clients to help them kickstart the process and start uncovering the gifts that those dragons are showing up with. And that when you look at it like there's something good for me in this experience, then you start to that kind of resistance that we all start to feel when we think that the universe is hostile, that we feel when we think that something is showing up to slay me instead of me slaying it, right? It's hard. It's hard because we put on our shells, we put on our armor, and we go into kind of fight mode. And when we are living from the place that the universe is friendly, that I'm open to the gifts that it has for me in every experience, our experience of life starts to change.
Well,
and it's a lot to wrap our heads around. Totally get that.
I'm telling you what, you need a big head for that. Yeah, we need to spend some time with these questions that we're talking about. That maybe they're the free gift. If they stay tuned to the end of the podcast, they can see how to get it. But
exactly.
Let's give them an example, Coach. Let's give them. Maybe you can talk about your dragon. Like, what was the biggest, fiercest dragon you encountered, and what did you learn from him or her?
There are so many. How much time? No, I know there's so many, but I'll pick.
We don't have enough time for all, but maybe just a quickie.
Yeah, I'll pick one. So I talked a little bit about the health challenges that started several years ago, and I went through a period of time where I was I was hospitalized 5 times in a 6-year period, and the last time I was in the hospital was for 4 weeks. I spent pretty much all of December of 2018 in the hospital, and in that process, which I now wouldn't trade for anything because it really was a gift, because I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about where I wasn't walking my talk, right? Where I had made my spiritual practice an intellectual exercise rather than really living it fully. And so I had to dig deep into all of those areas where I was thinking that anything in my world could be hostile to my experience, and really do that digging deep to to uncover A, what those areas were, and B, why was I seeing them this way when I say all the time that the universe is conspiring for my good. And then C, making the shift in my thinking and how I was living all of it. And so in that time, since that last hospitalization, I'm now closing in on almost 2 years of not being in the hospital, which is awesome. And
Yes.
I've also learned more about myself and how I move through the world in a way that I probably never would have experienced had I not gone through all of those health challenges. And so it's really about being open to whatever life shows you, even if it shows up in a really crappy looking package, right?
Well, I can see why that needs the help and guidance of a coach. I don't think intuitively or naturally we roll that way. I think we all have so much work to do every day to stay positive and stay wired that way. And that's why a coach like you come in handy, right?
I hope so. I mean, I know I've had some success with working with clients and navigating and guiding them through, not necessarily the exact same experience that I had, and challenging experiences, whether it was money or relationships or career or, fill in the blank, where these ideas have helped them get the results they were looking for.
Well, I can say firsthand that you do that work well, and you inspired me in a lot of ways. My head was really up my ass in certain areas, and you helped me pull it out by having a different perspective. So on that note, let's give some advice to our women that are launching into the world. What would you say would be your number one piece of advice if we could get that from you as a gift?
Well, I'm an overachiever, so I can't give just one. So I've got two.
Okay.
Two. They're short. So number one, you're going to fail at some point. It's just a fact of life. Don't beat yourself up when you do, because things have a way of working out in unexpected ways. So that would be number one. And then number two would be, don't underestimate the value of having a solid support network. Those are the folks that are going to help you and be there with you to celebrate the highs in your life and lift you up out of the lows that you'll encounter on your path. And just, invest in that support network, because the payoff the dividends will be, more than you can possibly imagine.
Oh, that is my swan song. I love that. I didn't even pay you to say that. I mean, that is amazing.
I know.
I so agree with We're so aligned on that. It is so true. That is the whole meaning behind Supergirl. Yay! Woo! Okay, love that advice.
That's serendipity. Well, it's the result of experience. So I'm not just, making stuff up. Those are two things that, I've learned the hard way.
And even still, she's leading a group in our Wharton community, alumni group of people that have submitted all kinds of advice in terms of their 25 years of experience, and some really, really good stuff coming out of there. And I know that's been one main theme. So that's, like you said, it's fact-based.
Fact.
Sumaiya,
exactly.
Thank you so much. I love you to death. I want to just, one more thing is, what's the best way for everyone to get in touch with you and learn more about this amazing work that you do? Unleash their awesome.
You can visit my website, which is sumaiyawood.com. And should I spell it?
Sumaiya Wood, Sumaiya. Wood, like a tree. WOOD.
.com.
It's easy. Unleash your awesome.
Exactly.
And also, if you want to know a little some tidbits about the dragons and the 7 questions to ask your dragon, you can go to my website, supergirls.com, and that's 2 L's, the second L for love. So we always have to spell it. So make sure you guys check that out. And we cooked up some good things for you. Make sure you want to check that out and be friends with those dragons. Like Sumaiya said, it's the only way to eternal happiness. So all that being said, thanks again for being with us today here on The Hero Whispers with spiritual coach Sumaiya Wood, the Good Witch. That is my nickname for her. We will see you guys next time. Until then, go out there, don't slay the dragons, be friends with them. Bye-bye.